Today we are looking at the Ubuntu Cinnamon 23.10 Mantic Minotaur, which is a flavors of Ubuntu. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors released today. The stable ISO file, which is 23.10, and the code name for the 23.10 is a Mantic Minotaur. So I'm using it in a VMware, which is a virtualization with 60 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM, and it's i5 1240p, my CPU. So here is the welcome screen, which is still the older welcome screen. So here are the available languages. You can choose the live boot, or you can directly install to your hard disk or the VMware, anything like that. So it's always a good option, or my opinion, to always live boot first. Then if you're satisfied without any bugs or anything crashes, anything like that, then go with the installation. So let's first boot it in a live boot. By clicking on try Ubuntu Cinnamon, it's going to boot it in a live boot. So this is the Ubuntu Cinnamon 23.10 desktop. So new wallpaper. So let's first open the system monitor and see how much of resources it is using before opening some of the apps. So these are all the process running right now. So I didn't open any apps or anything like that. So these are all the processes, and the memory is almost 1.7 GB, which is pretty much high. So as you can see in the Lubuntu, I already made a video of Lubuntu 23.10. If you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this video. So the Lubuntu LXQT version, the LXQT desktop environment was using like 500 or 600 MB in the beginning of the video, or while when I launched the Linux distro. So for the Ubuntu Cinnamon, it's almost like a 1.6 GB in the beginning, or 1.5 GB. We just launched or started this Linux distro. It's almost 2 GB. So if you have a low-end PC, I don't think you should go with the Ubuntu Cinnamon, because if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, it's almost a 1.6 GB. So if you open like a one app or two app, it's going to be a bit of lag, and it should be freezing, I guess. So it's always a good option. Even if you have a 2 GB of RAM, it's always a good option. If you want to try it, you can just try it in a live boot first. So as you can see, it's going up again, 1.7 GB. I didn't open anything. So this is the CPU graph, which is almost stable. This is almost like a 20 to 30 seconds. So let's go until 1 minute, and you can see there is no high peak in the graph. It's pretty much stable. So this is a stable ISO file, and you should be seeing the stable graph in the CPU, because we didn't open any of the apps. If you open any of the apps, we should be seeing a high peak in the graph. So it's almost a 1.6 GB. So let's check the version of the system monitor first. 45.0.2. So let me put the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video. So let's change the display setting first. So this is a Cinnamon desktop environment. So let's check, let's change the version to 1920 into 1080, 16:9 ratio. If you want to scale, you can scale. You can choose the rotation if you want. Let's click on apply, keep new configuration. Here are some of the settings if you want. So let's change this thing, and let me put the system monitor at the corner throughout the video, so you can see the difference in the CPU and the memory. So let's open the internet browser, which is a Firefox web browser. So this is a new wallpaper. So even the Ubuntu has also a new wallpaper, but they just added one wallpaper. There is nothing more than the single wallpaper. And the Firefox web browser was 118.1 in the Ubuntu. So as you can see, this is also same. So let's type in about support and hit enter. Here is the information, some of the important information if you want. If you don't want, you just can skip it. So let me scroll it down slowly. If you want to pause the video and you can watch the everything, if you want to read everything, you just pause the video, or you can just change the playback speed to 0.25 in the YouTube settings from 1.0, which should be default, and you can read everything. So these are all the changes. So let's go to their official website. Let's type in search engine. You can just use the Google if you want, or DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine you have. So the CPU is almost, as you can see, the memory is almost 2.2 GB. I typed it wrong. Let's type in startpage.com and hit enter again. So I'm using the VPN, so that's the reason Google will trigger the reCAPTCHA. That's the reason I'm using this search engine. So let's type in the search term, which is Ubuntu Cinnamon. So you need to type it Ubuntu Cinnamon in your search engine. The first link will be the official website, which is ubuntucinnamon.org. You can directly type in the URL as the above. Click on download, and here is the 23.10 Mantic Minotaur, and it is until mid 2024, which is almost like a July, and ships with the Cinnamon 5.8.4. Let's click on downloads. So it will take directly to the Ubuntu Cinnamon 23.10 Mantic Minotaur in the Ubuntu repositories. So here is the ISO file, 3.9 GB, which is almost 4 GB. Let's click on the ISO file. So here it is, 4 GB. So that was the downloading process. Let's go to the blog and check the release notes of the Ubuntu Cinnamon. Here is the release notes. Let's click on the release notes. Let's click on full release notes. So the release note was uploaded on September 19, 2023. So the Cinnamon desktop environment should be 5.8.4. I'm going to show it in a few seconds. So the Screensaver 5.18.8.1, Nemo file manager 5.8.4, Playmode theme. So this is all the changes. If you want, you can read it by pausing the video, or you just can go to their official website and read everything. So check out the main release notes if you want to see the Ubuntu. I'm going to make the video of Ubuntu 23.10. Right now the ISO files are not available. For some reason it says as an error. I don't know, they are fixing something or like that. Maybe tomorrow video will be of Ubuntu 23.10 and like Ubuntu or Subuntu, anything like that. So there is already a Lubuntu and the Cinnamon. So if you want to see the beta version or the daily builds, which is already available in my channel, if you want to check that out, you can check that out, or you can just wait for tomorrow. I'll be posting all these things. Let's close the browser. Let's open the terminal. Let's make it bigger so you can see everything properly. So let's check the version. Terminal version 3.49.92 for GNOME 45. So let's type in the command, which is inxi. So let's first change the color so you can properly see. Colors, gnome light should be good, I guess. Yep. Let's close this thing. Kernel version is a 6.5.0-9. So the Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors will be having the same version as this one. The Ubuntu version was also the same, which is 6.5. So every flavor will be 6.5 of a kernel. So INXI version is a 3.3.29. And I already mentioned I'm using a 12 gen CPU. So here it is. Storage, I said 60 GB for my VMware. So here it is. So let's type in another command, which is inxi dash small b. Hit enter. Host, it says as a Ubuntu Cinnamon. Kernel already mentioned. 64-bit. Desktop is a Cinnamon desktop environment 5.8.4, which was already mentioned in the release note. So we are getting the 5.8.4 version for the desktop environment, and it's based on a Ubuntu 23.10 Mantic Minotaur. So here it is. So under machine it says as a VMware. That's the reason, because I'm using a VMware, it says as a VMware. Here is the CPU. If you want to check all the information, you can just pause the video and read everything. Display is X11 Server Xorg version 1.21.1.7. Here is my display resolution. OpenGL version 4.3. Mesa is a 23.2.1. So this is my hard disk already mentioned. Process running right now are 289, and the total RAM using 4 GB of RAM. Available is a 3.78, and right now it's using 1.7 GB, and it's, as you can see, it's almost 1.8 GB. So let's type in another command, which is inxi-G. Hit enter. So here is the same information as the above. Let's type in another command, cat or cat:/etc/issue. Hit enter. It says as a Ubuntu 23.10. Let's type in another command, which is inxi-sv8. Hit enter. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. Let's scroll it up. So here it is. About system, complete system information. About machine, here is the complete information of the machine. About the memory, PCI slots. You can just pause the video and read everything if you want. Graphics, vulnerabilities, display, monitor, API, and here is the audio information. Pipewire version 0.3.79, ELSA, and here is the network information. Here is the Bluetooth, drivers, RAID, partition, swap, USB. Here are the sensors, repos, processors, memory top, and almost pretty much everything is here. So let's type in NeoFetch if it's pre-installed. Here is the NeoFetch, complete information. Pretty much covered everything. Let's type in Desktop finally. You need to install the Desktop. Let's try to install the Desktop. Sudo apt install Desktop. It's going to take a few seconds and you should be seeing the Desktop. Almost 45-50%. It just takes like a 20 seconds maximum. So here it is. Let's type in Desktop. So here is a Desktop. We pretty much covered almost every information of the distro. So let's close it and let's go to the installation process now. Install Ubuntu Cinnamon. You can choose it in the beginning, choosing like a live boot or installation there, or you can just click on the application launcher or the application right here. There are plenty of things or plenty of options while choosing to install. You can directly install while it's booting, or you can just choose the installer or the application right here. And there is no new installer as the Ubuntu 23.10. The flavors don't get the new installer, you get the same old installer. So this is the language selection. Choose your language selection. So you already know how to install it. Just for the newcomers, I'm going to show you how to install it. Choose the language, click on continue. It's going to take a few seconds. Choose the keyboard layout. I'm choosing the English United States. There are plenty of languages available or options available here. You can choose it. I'm choosing the default one. There are like a Hawaiian, Russian, everything. You can choose anything you want. Click on continue, or you can test it right here. Updates and other software. Install third-party software. It's clearly up to you to choose this option or uncheck this option. Click on continue. It's going to take like a 30 seconds. So instead of waiting for that, let's check out the CPU. Here is the CPU. Here is the memory. And on the panel, you get the same option as the older version. Here is the volume. You can customize if you want. Input, sounds, applications, settings. You can customize it on your own. Choose whatever you want. You can test the sound, all the things. Let me close this thing. Internet connection, language. I think we still need to wait for a few seconds, and here it is. Installation type. If you want to delete the current operating system, you can choose the erase disk. If you want something else like a manual partitioning or a dual boot, go with something else. And we have like a ZFS. I think this is a new option right here. Use LVM with the new Ubuntu Cinnamon installation. Erase disk and use ZFS. Encrypt the new Ubuntu Cinnamon installation for security. You will choose a security key in the next step. Choose anything you want here. So after that, click on install now, and it's going to be installed on your hard disk or VMware, whatever you choose in the installations type. So that's the installation. I'm not going to install it because I want to make another video of the 23.10. So that's the reason I'm not going to install it. So it's almost like a 10 to 15 minutes. We didn't see any crashes or anything in the applications. So let's open all the applications. We're almost like a let's open like 10 to 12 apps and see whether it crashes or not. So this is a stable ISO file. I don't think there will be any crashes or something like that. So let's try it and test it. Let's open bunch of apps, some random apps like Gnote and Gedit. Under the accessories, let's open games. We don't need games. Let's open the GIMP. Under graphics, document viewer, document scanner, and image viewer. Let's even open the LibreOffice Draw. Let's open gthumb. Under the internet, let's open Thunderbird Mail, Remina, Gen, and let's open the Hex Chat. Under the Office, we already opened the LibreOffice, so let's open the calendar, sound and audio, rhythm box, celluloid, Let's open videos. Under administration, let's open gparted. Synaptic package manager, software manager. Under preference, let's open backgrounds. Let's even open the extensions. Let's open FX. We almost opened like 18 to 19 apps, I guess. Let's open applets. So let's go to the system monitor and see. It's almost like a 3.4 GB. Cache is 1.4 GB. CPU is going pretty much normal. I think the Cinnamon desktop environment or the Ubuntu Cinnamon is handling pretty much good, as you can see. So everything is opened already. So there was no lag or no delay or anything like that. We don't see any crashes or anything like that. So you can still open some of the apps. We have some memory like 600 MB. Let's open Desklets. I think that's good. So as you can see, there is no crashes or anything like that. So this is a stable ISO file, and I didn't we don't even expect anything like crashing or anything like that. So let's see all the information or the above about the applications. Synaptic package manager version is 0.91.3. So the green boxes are the installed version, and here is the installed and the latest versions. So let's scroll it down. You can change the playback speed, and you can see all the installed packages in the slow-mo. So let's close this thing. So here is the desklets. Let's see that all the things end at the end. So we don't have any updates. 45.0. So these are all the installed applications in the Ubuntu Cinnamon. Let's even close this thing. Gparted, let's check the version 1.5.0. Let's close it. So as you can see, memory is going down because we are closing all the apps right now. About Rhythmbox 3.4.7. Channels, about videos, all the things. Let's check the LibreOffice version. I think the version should be 7.6, I guess. Yep, it is 7.6.2.1. Let's close the LibreOffice also. About the calendar, which should be 45.0. Let's close this thing also. About GTherm 3.12.2. GIMP 2.10.34. RAM is almost 3 GB. Document viewer, let's close this thing also. About gedit 44.2. Let's check the Thunderbird version. I think this is a Supernova. Let's check the version. You get a Supernova of version 115.3.1. Let's check the Gnote version 44.1. Let's close this thing. And the file manager Nemo 5.814, which was already mentioned in the release notes. Document scanner 44.0. About disk, here is the version. Celluloid 0.25. Ramina 1.4.31. So there are still apps in the background, so let's check the version. About image viewer 45.0. I think this Ubuntu Cinnamon is pretty good because we almost opened like a 20 to 22 apps. Like it handled it pretty much good. In the beginning of the video, I saw it's almost like a 1.7 GB. I didn't think it will handle this many of apps, but everything was good. We didn't see any crashes or anything like that. So it was pretty much fast in the opening apps also. Hexchat. So here are the backgrounds. It's going to take a lot of time to load everything. So let's close this thing. So there are plenty of wallpapers. You can decide or you can change the wallpapers if you want. Settings, home world. There are a lot of wallpapers you can customize. Let's close this thing. FX, you can customize if you want. These are all the customization. It's clearly up to you to customize it or not. So pigeon, you need to add account, all the things. You already know how to do that. So let me close this thing. Let's check the version. Here is the version of the pigeon. I think we have covered everything, I guess. We just have some customization applications. So here are all the customizations. You can download, you can manage of the applets. Let's close this thing. Desklets, you can download. General settings, same as the older version. Let's force quit it. That was not a bug. I pretty much tried to open some of the things pretty much fast. That's the reason it was like a error thing. So this Ubuntu Cinnamon 23.10, I think this was a good flavor because we didn't see any crashes or anything like that, or any lag or any freeze in the distro. I can recommend this Linux distro. If you have a mid-end PC, it's a good option to use this Linux distro. If you have a low-end PC, I don't recommend this. There's already a Ubuntu version 23.10, so you can use that version. So I think that's the end of the video, I guess. We pretty much covered everything, so there is nothing left here. So the end of the video, the RAM is almost like a 2.1 GB. In the beginning of the video, it was almost like a 1.5 or 1.6 GB. Right now, it's almost a 2.1 GB of using everything. So the CPU is almost going to be stable in few seconds because we closed everything. So that's the end of the video. If you want to see the Ubuntu 23.10 and other flavors, there are already videos in my channel. If you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.